really proud and honored to have Terian Williams here, a guy who's dominating in the NIL space, which is the primary conversation that we're having today, and obviously a Stanford guy. So, appreciate his understanding around being a whole athlete. And so, Terian's originally from Duluth, Georgia. He's heading into his sophomore year at Stanford University, as I already mentioned. But prior to Stanford, right, a lot of his stats are coming from high school now. He's only a sophomore. He was a two-time All-American, four-time All-State, first-team All-Fulton County, three-time All-Region. Terian had made 211 tackles, 21 pass breakups, 11 interceptions, owning his high school's record for interceptions in a season. That's awesome. On top of all these stats, he received Coach's Award, Scholar Athlete Award, Captain's Award, and is an inductee in the Johns Creek High School Hall of Fame. I believe you are majoring in engineering. And welcome to the podcast, brother. Thanks so much.
Thank you, and thanks for the great introduction. Glad to be here on the podcast with you.
Yeah. Is there anything that I missed, T? Like, if you could think of anything that, is speaks volumes about yourself. Is there anything from that other than the statistics that I missed as far as a bio goes?
That was you pretty much hit it head on. Other than just started the nonprofit, got that going on. So, but everything else, yeah, from stat wise, you hit it head on.
Cool, man. How'd you end up at Stanford, bro? I mean, Georgia it's complete opposite coast, complete opposite, parts of the country. I'm sure you passed up on a lot of opportunities down in the Southeast specifically, but then you ended up all the way in Palo Alto. Tell us a little bit more about that.
It's actually a funny story how I ended up in Palo Alto because freshman year they came out to recruit one of our running backs at my school, and I saw the running back coach, introduced myself, and I didn't even know like really what Stanford was at the time. They told me I would have to take like some
Those
AP
AP
classes.
classes.
I said no, I'm good. I said no, I'm good.
Oh,
Kept on going my
man.
day.
I'll let you
Yeah,
go.
yeah,
Sorry.
but it was about my like end of sophomore year. A lot of scholarships start racking up, and then you start reaching out to different schools and stuff. And then Stanford ended up getting up on Stanford's radar, and obviously I started learning more about them, understanding like what they're all about. The network alumni base out in California. So did more research on them, and ended up just really like falling in love with the school. And then when you especially like when you take that visit out to Palo Alto, and then you see like
Nice.
views, it's hard to like leave without wanting to come here. So definitely
Yeah.
felt love.
So you ended up taking the AP classes because that's the only way you can get in.
Yeah, I ended up taking the AP classes. I ended up taking those APs.
It's the summer bridge. We had to do or I would have had to have done the summer bridge classes to get me to the point where I can take the AP classes. I don't know
Yeah,
if you had to do the same thing, but I was just like, all right, Notre Dame offered very similar course structure and right
right.
so I was just like, all right, I'll do that. But that's cool, and it's been fruitful for you. What other schools did you pass up on, or who else were you considering? I guess in your process.
Coming out, I had 50 offers in total,
Sheesh.
but I was heavy on Kansas State, Texas Tech, Florida, and Kentucky. Those were some top ones that I was heavy on. But yeah, coming out, I had a total of 50.
Yeah, and I mean, you mentioned some of the factors that went into your decision, but ultimately, what would you pinpoint to why you chose Stanford?
Definitely somewhere that can, continue to carve myself into the man that I want to be. Networking wise, able to provide me with the people I need to, stay in contact with or meet to, continue to be successful further on down in life. And then obviously somewhere I can play ball at and have fun.
Yeah,
And then, it's out in California, so California is beautiful with me. Going from East Coast to West Coast, being able to network across the country, it's just
yeah.
something good.
Good for you, man, for having that perspective. I don't know if the weather is better so much in Palo Alto than it is in Atlanta, man. My mom lives in Woodstock. My brother's in Atlanta.
Okay.
So I'm up here in New York City, but I spend a good amount of time down there. But Palo Alto can get a little right, like
It,
compared to Atlanta at least.
there's no humidity here, so that's like the best part. I know,
Okay.
like when I went back home last week, I was at my sister's soccer game, and I'm just standing, and I'm like, it's so hot here. I'm sweating. So I
Yeah.
love it here. It's like nice. like the sun's out, but it's not like beaming on you. You might
Yeah,
catch like a cool breeze at nighttime and early mornings. It gets cold from the
yeah,
wind and stuff, but other than that, it's like very calm.
yeah. I think as a black man, having a head coach who's also African American, um, you know, that always adds value, right? Especially when you're going through the recruiting process. I don't know if your parents were kind of the same way as, my mom in terms of, there's a black man leading this program. It's obviously one of the most prestigious institutions. And so that's why we really highly considered Stanford from
Yeah.
my family's perspective. Was it the same for you going to play for Coach Shaw? And what has that transition been like for the program and specifically for yourself and for the team as he's
Uh,
transitioned away?
Yeah, so like now we have Coach Taylor, which he's an amazing coach, bringing good enthusiasm to the locker room. Very welcoming, open door. But yeah, throughout the whole process, having Coach Shaw, a black male figure that's well respected across the whole, college football, NCAA, NFL, all of that definitely went into Tate and being able to, have that black leader, learn from him and understand the things that he's done to become successful and things he's done to be in the position that he is definitely went into into that decision making. Obviously, my parents loved it from their standpoint. A great black male in the position that he is, and being able to learn from him was definitely in the process.
Yeah, yeah, man. And you speak about your parents and your family a little bit, and I was able to read up on what you've done in NIL. And if you don't know, guys, this guy's one of the most inspirational name, image, and likeness figures in the early 2 years of of its existence. A proud user of the mobile platform, and we appreciate your support through and through, man. But want to touch on your family a little bit more, right? What have they meant to you as you've gone through your athletic career? Not only your athletic career, but I guess your entire life, right? I think what made me want to ask this question is because your mom helped you with your NIL and your Christmas initiative last year, which is what I read. So, if you wanted to expand a little bit on your family's impact on your life, and then your event with some of those local families in the Atlanta area last year for NIL.
Yeah, definitely. Both my parents, my mom and my dad, are very, helping in everything that I do. Very supportive throughout the whole NIL process. My mom coming from a business mindset. She's a marketing teacher in Atlanta, so she helps me with like a lot of my branding, my marketing, how I, carry myself outside, and how brands see me. And then my dad, just being like the determination mindset he has, trying to be the best at everything that he wants to do, or whether he wants his kids to be the best at everything they do. So definitely, it's a whole team effort.
Yeah,
Love the way they push me, love the way they help me. Obviously, NIL is something new, so that's something that we learn as we continue to go. But
yeah,
their support has been amazing throughout the whole process. And then yeah, the I had the different this past Christmas I supported 10 different families in the Metro Atlanta area, provided grocery, housing, different toys, different things they needed for anything to help for that Christmas time. And their support, my mom was able to find like different families in the area that needed
yeah,
some help, and my dad was be able to find some. He's also a police officer in Atlanta, so I had different connections. So being able to just being able to have that support I have, everybody doesn't have it, so I'm definitely blessed to have that support.
yeah. No, that's amazing, man. And obviously, without them, you wouldn't be where you are athletically, and then NIL, right? Terian's amassed over 30 partnerships, right, with certain brands. Can you name some of the larger brands that people might know that you've partnered with?
Yes, so like PSD Underwear is one. Alpha Clothing Line, they provide all my suits. Oki Shades, they provide all my shades. Gabriel Willis, Shade Company, they provide my shades in the my dorm room or at the house back in
Yeah.
Atlanta. They take care of me. I'm on track to sign a car company soon, so be on the lookout for that. So be on the lookout for
Don't
that.
don't let us don't spoil it. Let's just
Hey,
wait till the
be on the lookout.
big
But yeah,
reveal.
definitely. DJ Joel back in Atlanta, help him with some things. We are doing different things. So I have different partnerships, all spread out through all categories. And then I call like a lot of my partnerships a teamwork. They help me with my nonprofits that I have. Whether we doing different things in the community. So it's definitely something that it's more than just bringing in conversation. It's definitely being able to give back to the community.
Yeah, I love that. So talk to us a little bit more about your philanthropic initiatives that you have going, if you wouldn't mind.
Right. So I just started my nonprofit. It takes a family village foundation, and basically supporting, bringing like I did this past Christmas, housing, groceries, toys, or the different things that's needed in these different communities. Obviously, we're gonna start locally in Atlanta and Palo Alto, but I went to the NIL summit this past about a couple weeks ago, and met up with different you know. Some of the different nominees that were up for some of the different awards or different students that were there, and we talked about some big things that we're going to do in our communities. So I'm gonna connect with them in their communities, being able to spread that nonprofit in their spaces, how I can help their nonprofits, what they have going on. So it's definitely just something that's been instilled in me from my family on trying to help others, if I have the opportunity to, especially now with the platform NIL. I don't
Yeah.
have to wait till like I'm
Yeah.
way older. I can be able to start that foundation now.
Yeah. How do you do it, man? I mean, you compete at one of the most prestigious universities in the world, and you play college football at the highest level, right? And then you add NIL, um, with your you have personal things going on in your life, but to have over 25, 30 brand deals, right? And be able to successfully engage with those brand deals, right? And not, fall in the pits or the cracks and miss something in the contract. Like how do you do it? What's your support system other than your family? Like how have you been able to succeed so far?
Definitely. I say it also goes with like the name of my name of my nonprofit. It takes a family village. It takes a whole family to get everything done. Whether it's I have mentors in Atlanta, my family, my friends here, friends back at home. Uh, you know, Being able to still be that teenager, young adult, and still pursue my dreams, and still be able to handle my business on the field,
Mhm.
off the field, academically, still be able to socialize. So, it's definitely time management has a lot to do with it. You got to be able to manage your time, and then minimal sleep. I don't sleep all
No,
day.
no, 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 no. Sleep is important though, bro.
Sleep is important, but I don't really like sleep all day. I don't sleep till like 12 o'clock. Like
Yeah,
I can't do that. I get up and hit the ground running, and I still
love
be able
that.
to socialize, be able to hang out with my friends, family, stuff like that.
Love that. And then want to get into the NIL summit a little bit, but as far as the MOGL platform goes, how have you found the MOGL technology to help you in sourcing deals and making the NIL process a little bit more simple?
Mogul's definitely been so helpful. I'd say that's where I started. My first few deals, especially Mogul has been that great, third party helping me connect with different, companies or being able to negotiate my deals, find new deals that I'm looking for that match what I'm looking for. So, and then easily contact, I can contact you or I contact some of the other, part of the other people, part of the team, if I'm having like if I want something specifically I'm looking for something like that. So Mogul's definitely been a great source for me to find my deals.
Cool. Appreciate the plug, man. And then the NIL summit, I heard you made a splash, and obviously we have Satori Tannen working with us, who's a women's basketball player at Loyola Chicago, and we were supposed to have her on with you. But tell us a little bit about that. Kind of summarize the experience down in Atlanta year two. Were you there year one? I don't think we met,
I was
but
not. I was so yeah. So I was in high school, so I
but you
wasn't.
were still in high school. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So, um, the feedback was that it was such a it's a much better year two, and there was more athlete to athlete networking and building, and just curious your thoughts on the event this year.
Yeah, so I definitely heard the same thing about year two being like way more, organized, well, more athlete to athlete, connecting, network building, things like that. Definitely love the NIL Summit. I actually had to leave like a day early because we had to be back for our workouts Monday morning, so I missed that Monday session. But I was definitely, happy to be there, excited to be nominated for an award, and the connections I made there definitely going to last me, like a
Yeah.
lifetime. Like I said, my nonprofit or things I have going on with deals or collaborations. Met so many people, met so many, big time corporations, different different things. So it's definitely love this NIL summit. Excited to be back next year. Definitely plan on coming back with some
Yeah.
hardware next year.
What award were you nominated for this year?
I was up for the Hustle Award, which shows like the determination and hustle going after deals.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. Glad MOGL is a part of that, and anything that we can do to support you, in hopes that you win it next year, we're happy to do that.
Definitely.
Um, awesome, man. Final questions here. I guess what advice do you have to someone, going off that, right, of you being nominated for the Hustle Award? What advice do you have for someone who's looking to get engaged, right? A recent high school graduate, um, going to compete at such a high level. But for anybody who's interested in NIL, what type of advice do you have on even how to get started?
Right. Yeah. So I still receive questions all the time from different college athletes asking, like, where do I start? How do I do this? Definitely just don't be afraid to, reach out to a company. Don't be afraid to hear a no from a company. But a lot of these companies want to partner with collegiate athletes because so many people look up to collegiate athletes and pay attention to college sports. Doesn't matter if it's football, basketball, gymnastics, wrestling. Doesn't matter if you're a college athlete. I'll say reach out to these companies that you love or that you already wear. Go ahead and give another initiative of why you wear their gear. Go ahead and have like that two-way street that I'm wearing your gear so much. I'd love to continue to sponsor you guys and would love to be part of your team. So don't be afraid to reach out to companies and just the same way you work on your craft on the field, on the court, it's the same way that you have to work on your craft, whether it's your elevator pitch you're giving to these companies or just reaching out to different companies.
That's awesome advice. Love the elevator pitch idea, even if it's digital or in writing, right? Because obviously a lot of NIL is digital based and social media based, right? So you might not have the in person opportunity, but love that advice, Terian. Thanks so much for joining. I guess before you go, man, would love for you to offer up, where people can find you, where fans, your audience, our audience listening can find you, find some of your deals that you're promoting on all your socials. Just let everyone know.
Yeah, on Instagram you can find me at Terian Williams, Terian Williams, and then on Twitter I'm also at T_Williams D1.
Awesome, brother. Thanks so much. Thanks for using the MOGL platform. Got your message about getting more involved with us, and so we're considering what that could look like. Because again, you've been one of the key differentiators and one of the athletes who've leveraged our platform, and so we're grateful for that. I'm grateful for that, and I look forward to working with you, more down the road, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Appreciate you.